Mai has just released for Street Fighter 6 and you want to get her to master rank, but you'll only have one problem. Your Mai sucks. Don't worry, I don't even blame you. Mai is actually a fairly complex character. I just recently got Mai to high master, and through my trials and tribulations, I figured out a basic game plan and these tips and tricks that you can easily copy and paste, implement into your own gameplay, and quickly level up and get to master rank. Please enjoy. So for Mai's basic game plan, we're going to think of a bit of a hybrid between Chun-Li and Aki, kind of like a Fireball, Dry Rush plus sort of set play character. But one thing to keep in mind with Mai is that her basic Fireball game is not that strong. While these are pretty solid pokes, these Fireballs, and they come out rather fast, the start is pretty good, these are not true projectiles, meaning these are hit projectiles. We can actually trade with them with buttons and then nullify them on the screen. And on top of that, they just lose outright to any projectile in the game, right? So you actually get punished for throwing fireballs. You'll fall really far behind in the fireball battle because unless you charge the fan, it's not a true projectile. Now, the problem with Mai's charged projectiles is they take a bit of time, but they're really strong once you do manage to get them on the screen, but it can be hard to get ahead in the fireball battles. But you do want to make an effort to be at mid-range and throw these charged fireballs because on hit and block, they cause this bounce. So I categorize the fireballs in kind of three different ways. So the light fireball is a lower bounce. I like to use this fireball to simply cover your tracks as you get in. So I think from like a bit of a distance, it lets you set up a mix after with Dry Rush. So it's more to cover your approach, I would say, than to actually get any conversions from it directly. You can sometimes do things like Dry Rush into Crouching Light Kick with it. But for the most part, this one happens so fast, it's more like to let you to approach since the next hit happens so quickly, or to let you get a mix after both hits connect. On the other hand, the medium fireball is much more useful for actually getting high-low mix and then converting with the second hit of the projectile. For example, if I do something spaced out like this, I can do the medium charge fireball, Dry Rush low, and then you see there that's actually plus 17. So that lets me go ahead and get a combo conversion that I wouldn't normally otherwise be able to get. So the medium one definitely allows for a bit more like mix between the actual hits itself, you know, where you can go ahead and get a low or a high. Same thing with the heavy projectile. The heavy projectile actually has the most bounce. This one sometimes has too much bounce where people are actually able to walk forward underneath it. So I would say that this one is definitely good at a distance, but I would also use this as sort of an approach tool here and there, so that way you can kind of cage them and see what they do and react to the situation. So light and heavy I think is best for caging them and then reacting to what they do. Light can cover and let you get in. Heavy can put the pressure on them to make a decision, and then medium is best for the mix. Now, other than that, she is a bit of a zoning character, so you're gonna have to know how to anti-air. I know these aren't really like sexy tips or anything, we'll get into those very shortly, but you can throw some projectiles, mix in OD to get the mix started, and then get her anti-air game going. Her light DP is fairly strong. It's 5 frames and has really good horizontal hits, but she does suffer a little bit like Terry does, where she has to mix between the medium and the heavy to get more horizontal range. So for the most part, for jump-ins at sharp angles, you'll be doing the light kick DP, and this will be what you use for crosscuts as well. So there you can see I use the light DP as the crosscut option. So it's actually a really strong anti-air, but if they're at certain distances, it can definitely be a problem. Like there's a chance that your light one could whiff if they jump at the exact right distance. So things could go the wrong way for sure. So you can see there, heavy has way too much horizontal range sometimes. So you have to be cognizant of which strength to use. So something to keep in mind while you're playing. So copy and paste tip number 1 for Mai to get you to master, it's going to be this specific light string here. So a big problem with lights in this game is that after a couple of lights, you know, your pressure sort of ends, and Mai here actually does kind of suffer from kind of poor light string enders, so it's hard to keep your turn. And here you can see the dummy is actually walking away on block after pressing my lights, which means if I go for like a tick throw here, they're just going to walk right out of the range of my throw and escape the pressure. But Mai does have a very specific string, which is universal to some characters. It's a common theme, which is very powerful to implement. It's this string right here. Crouching light punch, crouching light kick to standing light punch. This chain here, you can see as the dummy tries to walk away after blocking the first hit, will pin them down and allow you to get combo conversion. So of course, the main combo ender will be the quarter circle forward kick, the elbow ender. This one is really, really strong, does really good corner carry, good combo conversion from lights. There's also other combo enders. You can go into the OD elbow for more damage and corner carry. Her corner carry is actually very good on a lot of these light confirms. Or if you're trying to go for a higher meterless damage, you can end in DP. But for the most part, you're going to end in light kick elbow. So this string just meeting with this string over and over will catch so many people trying to walk away from your pressure, and it's really powerful to copy and paste. So if you get like a random throw, you can just mix that in the corner as well. You can mix it in. I mean, some people just tend to never block on wake up, so a good way to rinse and repeat and get pressure over and over. So the other reason why ending in this light kick elbow is so powerful is because, as you can see here, you can actually dash up and walk forward and get really strong pressure no matter which way they tech. So with this example, the Luke is actually going to wake up with buttons after this knockdown, and you can see here, if we end in the elbow, it's very easy to walk up and get pressure. And you can even just loop this sequence, right? So I would just practice doing this a little bit. This is going to be really strong meterless Oki. And you can always convert it. And like we showed before, if they try to walk away from the potential throw, you'll also end up getting the low to combo anyways. And if you finally condition people to start blocking, you can mix in the grab as well. So this is going to be a huge core part of your game plan on the road to master, is this light conversion to light elbow to mid-screen Oki into strike or throw, and using the jab, crouch and light kick, standing light punch string to punish people from walking away from your pressure. While this offensive sequence is really strong to keep your pressure going, the problem with it is that you're doing very little damage. So what if you wanted to get more bang for your buck out of this sequence? That's where the next tip comes into play. We're going to use the same knockdown here with the light kick elbow, and then do dash up back heavy kick. So we already showed that you can actually walk up and get the light conversion, but dash up back heavy kick is an auto timed meaty, and you can see there if they wake up with a light punch, which is what they're doing in this situation here. You can see the wake up light punch right there. This will absolutely destroy them, and you can potentially get a big combo cash out if you're able to convert from the counter hit as well. But this is still really strong even if the opponent actually respects your offense and blocks, because if you do this conversion and then go for that meaty, you're actually +1 on block. You get to move first. Normally back heavy kick is actually -1 on block, but this does hit meaty. So you get to continue your pressure after and do things such as this. So you see here, if you master this timing, you can actually loop this back heavy kick over and over on people and then convert with the jab after on counter hit to the same knockdown. This was my basic offensive game plan without knowing really what else to do with and that pretty much carried me to master. So super powerful meaty to smooth out your offense and keep the momentum going in a real match. While Mai's elbow Oki and the back heavy kick meaty after it is really powerful, it requires you to be in range with your lights to get the party started. What if you can't get into range to get into the elbow in the first place? You're going to have to leverage some of Mai's other strong tools in order to convert from these smaller openings and to get big damage. This next tip will help you do just that. So for Mai, before she has her stocks from landing here level 1, her main combo routes are related to getting into a situation where you can combo into the heavy Rienbu, which allows you to get juggle follows, right? So if we get this, we can go into something like light kick elbow right there for a good corner carry, or if you just want a bit more damage, you can instead end it with the heavy kick DP instead. But there is an issue with this combo conversion. You see, this combo requires the opponent to be standing, because heavy Rienbu whiffs on crouchers, which really limits your combo potential. Like, you'd have to convert instead to like a heavy cartwheel, or you'd have to spend meter to keep this going. So your meterless combo options are really limited when the opponent is crouching. But there is a way to solve this problem, and with the string and a certain tool, you can tie all these routes together and not have to worry as much about if the opponent is standing or crouching. So another piece of this puzzle to remember is that Mai is actually a low forward drive rush character. So, you know, having a low forward to drive rush is super powerful. But once again, if we try to do like a basic string, like crouching medium kick, drive rush cancel to crouching medium punch to stand heavy, which normally would be a decent route, it just whiffs on them if they're crouching. So instead of doing that into this string, we can instead use Mai's back heavy kick, which forces stand, and this kind of stabilizes all of your combo route conversions. So you can do something like crouching medium kick cancel to back heavy kick, which then will allow you to link into crouching medium, which combos into the heavy Rienbu after forcing stand with the back heavy kick, and it stabilizes your combo route. So this is basically my go-to combo routing option with Mai. Helps really stabilize things so I don't have to think about it as much, and still does pretty optimal damage. So definitely a great way to force stand and get the party going. Another strong aspect of going to back heavy kick is that dry rush back heavy kick is +3 on block. So in the corner, for example, if you go for this route and they happen to block it, you immediately get a strike throw mix. You can go straight into a tick throw. So that's another really strong aspect of this. It lets you set up a lot of throw situations, or you can try to like keep the pressure going with some other offensive options instead. But it's really powerful to mix in that way. It's important to remember though, mid-screen, if they're holding back after blocking this, they can actually walk out of range of the throw. So something to keep in mind, but I do highly recommend using crouching medium kick to back heavy kick as a way to quickly stabilize a lot of your conversions. Using crouching medium kick into drive rush cancel is key to get your wins to get into master rank, but it doesn't leverage any of Mai's unique character specific strengths. These next tips will get into that and figure out how to use her specific tools in order to get your W's. Okay, now with tip 4, we get into some of the fun stuff using Mai's unique tools. And this is the best way to easily get the party started. It's using OD Fireball with Mai. This gives you an instant actual full projectile without needing to charge, even without flame stalks, and it gives you the mix as well. So a great way to get this started is to use things like stand medium punch buffered into it or stand heavy punch. So you can do like a spaced out stand heavy punch or spaced out stand medium punch and then cancel straight into OD Fireball. And this puts you into a very advantageous situation. So here I'm going to demonstrate one example that you can use to mix your opponent. So I do immediate drive rush to crouching light kick after they block that, and you can see there it's +14. So actually, if they don't block the high-low mix here correctly, I can go immediately into heavy punch and to heavy Rianbu and get my combo conversion that way. Now on the other side, what if I want to go for an overhead instead? So in the same situation, if I go for overhead, you see there that it actually covers me with the second projectile until the overhead actually lands. So here I would get my my normal combo conversion from the overhead and keep the party going that way. And so to prove that this is really a dangerous position for the opponent, I'm going to have them delay jab after blocking this to try to interrupt my pressure. And you can see here that even if they manage to like check me, remember these projectiles do not go away after Mai gets hit. So even if they check you on the way in, you can still get in there and do things and get real combo conversions, right? So it's not guaranteed that they can actually escape this. It's a very dangerous situation for them regardless, so you actually get to really apply the pressure there. Another option you can choose to do is to simply just hold up forward. It definitely covers you on the way in, so if they block all here, if they don't block high, you get a free jump in. So it lets you immediately apply pressure there. But if instead they want to only do stand block, it sets up an empty jump as well, because you can see here, if you empty jump from this, you're actually +1 in that situation. So you're able to get in and actually force mix. So it's super powerful, and you can even have more frame advantage, like if it hits further out, like a spaced one like that. See, I'm up to +6. So you definitely get a real empty jump low pressure situation, or maybe even like an empty jump into grab. It just lets you immediately get in. Now you might be saying that's well and good, but what if they just hold parry to nullify the mix? Well, in that case, just drive rush into immediate grab, right? Like this is like such a auto time thing, just drive rush grab if they're holding parry. Now, if you're further out and they don't parry, for example, there's a chance you can whiff your grab. You might have to delay the throw slightly, but you definitely have time to get in there and throw them before the fan actually hits, so they're forced to take a guess. They can't just parry out of it. They're going to get mixed high, low, or throw, and if they try to check you, it can be very difficult for them to get out of there. Now, some characters can do an invincible reversal to escape the situation entirely, yes, but it's really a great tool to just get the party started if you're out here, and even from a distance, you can use it as well to do things like dash up or walk up and to delay dry rush, and then get a high-low mix going. So definitely use this tool if you're stuck and you don't know what to do. OD Fireball might be your answer to get the party started. Mai's OD Fireball is really good to get the party started and get your offensive pressure and mix going. But what if you already got the hit, converted, and put the opponent in the corner? What do you do there? Well, the next tips will get into some nasty set play to mix up the opponents and get big damage. So if you end a basic combo conversion with Mai in the corner, you're going to find that after like a heavy Ranbu into heavy DP, you're going to be plus 30. You can see there in the frame meter in the teal in the upper bar, you're plus 30 frames of advantage there. Even if you end it in the elbow instead, the light kick elbow to get corner carry, you're also plus 30. This is a pretty good number for Mai because it lets you set up meaty charge projectiles. If you're actually plus 32, you could actually get like plus frames from it, but let me demonstrate exactly what I mean here. So in this situation, I throw the projectile and you can see it's actually hitting really meaty. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the wake up reversal just to demonstrate this for you. They're gonna try to wake up with a crushing light punch here, and that's gonna punish them. Now I can't even actually get a combo here from the light one. It doesn't allow you to have enough frame advantage on hit even when you counter hit to get a combo. But if you throw the light one, you immediately get mix up here, right? So you can immediately go for a high-low or go for a grab if they're waking up with buttons right there. So it keeps the pressure going. Now if you do instead something like a medium, it becomes even more apparent what kind of mix you can get. So if we were to do the medium here and they actually block low, you see there, it actually lets me get a combo from the overhead meterless, right? It ends up being plus 4. So I can get a combo into jab right there. If I were to throw the heavy, even more frame advantage, plus 16. So you get a lot more options instead from that. And if they don't mash buttons and wake up, if they instead block and then try to challenge after with a light punch, well, we can also see, of course, that doesn't end very well for them at all. So throwing the light one there puts up a really nasty trap. So even though normally you are negative on block if they block this, if I try to jab here, they're going to beat me to the punch. If they do anything besides an invincible reversal, they're going to get counter hit right after, right? So you get the counter hit right there and you're actually plus 19. And I think using the heavy kick target combo is really good here. The back heavy kick 3 kick target combo, one of your best meterless options. So you can do something like that and then end in the light kick DP, or instead of the light kick DP, you can end in the level 1, which allows the meterless way to get into level 1 and get your flame stocks going as well. Now, of course, we can use the other projectiles as well for different types of mix. So you can do something like with medium projectile, which lets you defend and then go for a high-low mix and just keep the pressure going. This is really strong because if you know about how projectiles work in Street Fighter 6, you know what utility a meaty projectile has. So there you have it. If they try to wake up with a super, it just stops that free, and you're plus 32. Look at the frame advantage on that. That's crazy. So one example of a combo there might not be the most optimal, but you see the vision. Using meaty projectiles is really strong always because it beats level 1 supers. And in Mai's case, it actually really puts a lot of pressure on the opponent because they don't know if you're going to go high, low, or throw in the situation. While the set play is very fun and really nasty to pull off on a real opponent, remember, this is Street Fighter 6. You got to keep things basic sometimes and get some throws going. But is there anything you can do to really optimize your throw pressure? Of course. Tip number 6 and the final tip here is the most abusable part of this whole video. You can definitely copy paste this and start stealing a bunch of wins right away, and that's the tech with Mai's throw loop. Now, at first I discounted Mai's throw loop. I didn't realize how powerful it really was because it looks a lot like Terry's throw loop, where if you dash up, you're plus 3 and you can get another throw. So in this situation, if the opponent's to wake up with a crushing light punch, you can dash up and throw them and you beat their button, which is very strong. But if they were to instead wake up with a backdash from this situation, you can see that you're actually -4, which means they can punish you with a jab. If they read your throw, dash throw, they'll definitely punish you with a full combo. And you can't really make this safer because if you do a throw and try to walk up throw, there's no way for you to walk in range and throw. Think of like a Chun-Li in this situation, right? So you have to dash to get the next throw. But Mai differs from Terry in a very distinct and important way. You see, after landing her throw, you can dash in and walk back to bait out the throw whiff. This means you have a dash and throw loop with a really nasty built-in shimmy possibility, which means big punishes. So that combo right there is a basic example for not going into any supers. After the shimmy, you're able to take a step back and then see that the throw whiffed and then do charged OD fireball, which sets up this nasty extension. Then you use the towards heavy punch extension to get the bounce. And then with this combo, you do immediate light Rienbu, slightly delayed light Rienbu, and then heavy DP to get that basic conversion. Now, if you want to go into level 1s, you have other options for that as well, starting from the same pattern. Get the shimmy, charge OD fireball, medium Rienbu, light kick elbow into level 1, get your flame stocks going, and get a lot of damage. Now, if you want to go into level 3, similar route, medium Rienbu, medium elbow, level 3. So really high damaging shimmy situation. And remember, this is all combo conversions without any flame stalks involved, and you get really big damage if you set this up. So abuse the throw dash throw loop in the corner, and then finally cash out with the shimmy and kill them if they whiff the throw with a big damaging combo. And those, in my opinion, are the easiest tips to copy and paste into your own gameplay to quickly level up and start getting wins and rank up in Master Rank. Remember, you have to have the fundamentals down in order to proceed. If you can't anti-air, you're not going to be able to play a solid game plan. People will just jump at you all day and exploit that weakness. Now, you might have noticed in this video, I didn't go into her flame stock shenanigans at all, and that's on purpose. I feel like Mai's level 1 is actually a little awkward to combo into. Either you get a light confirm and immediately cancel into level 1, or a lot of her routes are gate kept by spending OD meter to get a juggle mid-screen to get into her level 1. And even then, utilizing her flame stocks effectively without just wasting them really quick is kind of complex as well. So to be quite honest, I didn't use her flame stocks at all to progress with her through Master Rank. Now, I do think it's required to optimize that at a higher level. It makes Mai a really complex character. So if you want to learn more about those flame stocks, let me know in the comments below. I will be learning to optimize them as well myself, but I do not think it's required to get to master. I think with these tips and some basic fundamentals, you can go very far. Thanks for watching. Peace.